Good morning. Hey, are you getting a sense? A little sense? It's such a beautiful meditation and beautiful song together. It's like, okay, we're beginning to rise in energy in our vibration and getting a sense of where we're headed, right? Because we are definitely on a journey together for the next, 5 weeks or so that is going to, launch us into inner space. We can go to outer space, we can go to inner space, and really this idea of expanding our consciousness, uplifting our vibration, expanding our consciousness, really having a new sense of our understanding of who we are and our connection to the world. So here we are starting. So how many of you have heard when you were growing up this idea of money is the root of all evil? Right? You heard it growing up. Maybe you even believed it as an adult. And, maybe it wasn't consciously, but that idea or something like it, kind of filtered into the recesses of the subconscious. And, as we know in New Thought, the ideas in there that we're not always aware of tend to outpicture in our lives. But of course, that's a misquote. It's not the real statement. The real passage in 1 Timothy 6:10 is that the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. So it's the love of, or the obsessive focus on the material form, on the symbol, while ignoring the love energy that is behind it. So, and that's usually what most people see. That's all we see, really, is the symbol, that's money, right? We can see the numbers, we can see the material thing, that's what we tend to know. It's all we tend to know. And then on top of that, we have all kinds of interpretations about money. A lot of fear. There's a lot of fear around money. A lot of different ideas. You don't have enough, you suffer miserably. You have too much, it corrupts. So it is that focus on the symbol, on the material form, along with the interpretations that we tend to put onto that is the issue. That is the problem. That is the, quote unquote, evil. And as Derek Rydall points out in his book, what we're going to talk about in a minute, evil is live spelled backwards. And those ideas and that thing just blocks the energy, the full expression of life, the full expression of joy and fulfillment and abundance. So we're going to look at that today. And we're going to begin to look at the true source of our wealth, of all of our good. We're going to begin this journey today. And all month, we're going to be looking at several spiritual truths, principles that we can use in our lives and learn how to use them so that we can create more joy, more love, more abundance, more peace, more well-being. Sound good? Want to go there with me? Okay, let's go. All right, and so to help us, I just use your book that's right here. To help us in this quest is Derek Rydall and his book, The Abundance Project. And it's really, we're going to dive into this, but to really absorb it, to really begin to use these ideas and apply them to your life, we are offering 2 book studies. So there's 2 ways that you can join, 2 different days. Today, after the service, is our first book study, and Marea Kavanagh is facilitating that. She's leading that. So it's in person on Sundays after the service is one way to join. Another way is Monday night via Zoom, and I'll be facilitating that. So 2 ways to do it, 2 days, 2 times, no excuse. And you want to be in a book study group because, just listening to me talk for 20 odd minutes on a Sunday or, trying to, just read it on your own, it's not going to stick because you need to work it. You need to do the exercises. You need to practice the principles. And you need the support because this is a very different way of thinking. And it's, it really shifts your brainwaves. You really, and you need to shift your consciousness in order to have a shift in your experience. You need to do that. So if you haven't gotten your book yet, how many people have got the Abundance Project book? Okay, good. And how many plan to attend the book study this afternoon? The Sunday book study? Okay, great. How many plan to attend the online on Monday night? All right, show of hands, you don't know yet? Either one? And yeah, I guess you could jump from group to group, right? But if you can't make it one day, you can jump to the other day. Yeah, okay, so don't be afraid, I can't make all the days. You can go from one to the next, right? So you can get this on Amazon, on Barnes & Noble, on his website. And if you do, keep your receipt or the order number, and you go to his site and you put in the number, he will make available all of this free support material, all kinds of free stuff. I'm not pushing this, but it's there, it's available, it's free if you want it. And so, Chris, if you would, we're just going to allow Derek to speak for a moment or two about his book.
Welcome, Derek Rydall here, founder of the Law of Emergence and author of the #1 best-selling book, Emergence, and now the new book, The Abundance Project, which I'm super excited about. It's going to be in hardcover when you get it. This is my early draft, but I'm really excited that you found this. I'm really excited to be able to give this information to you. This is the result of decades of trial and error and struggle to really understand what is the real principle or principles to creating wealth and abundance in your life and in every area of your life, regardless of conditions. And what I've discovered, what I now call the abundance principle, is basically the way all of life creates. It's the way all of nature creates, and it's the way you were designed to create. And that is, you have the capacity to manifest all of your needs abundantly in every area of your life, regardless of where you've been and regardless of the challenges you currently face. In other words, it's not about what's in your bank account or how your business is doing or how the economy is going that determines your capacity to manifest abundance in your life. Now that's real freedom. And this is not theory. This is a proven principle and now a proven system where I walk you step by step through this process. In the Abundance Project, 40 days to more wealth, health, love, and happiness. And when you get this book now, and for a limited time, I'm going to also give you over $1,200 in additional bonuses, including coaching, real coaching support, live coaching support, additional programs, and a mastermind group where we're going to work together with like-minded individuals to create your own abundance project, to be able to get out of the false concept that your past determines your present or your future, that your outer conditions determine what you can be and what you can do and what you can have, and really step into your divine inheritance. It's right here, it's right now, but you have to know how to come into alignment with it. And in the Abundance Project, I'm going to show you how, no matter where you're starting from, how step by step to get to a life of more than enough, all of your needs met. Pick up a copy now, put your information in the box, and get your bonuses. Join the mastermind with us where we're going to embark on this abundance project and watch how this year becomes the most abundant year of your life. I can't wait to connect with you. And until next time, remember, live authentically, love unconditionally, and follow your destiny.
All right. And so The added bonus for us is that I know Derek, and I asked him if he would come into our group via Zoom and do a free live coaching. And he said, yes. And so August 28th, put it on your calendar, he's doing a free coaching of this. I mean, this is kind of a big deal. But you have to be signed up. You need to be registered for one of the other of the book study groups in order to get the Zoom link. Okay, so August 28th. It's going to be pretty exciting. Woohoo! All right, so do we have the image of the book cover? Did that come up? If not, I can just use this, and this will be fine, if you can see it. Okay, so I want to talk about the book's cover image. Now, most covers don't always reflect the ideas in the book. In fact, that's what a lot of authors, complain about. But this one does. So you can see behind the title is what? Beautiful apple tree. Looks like an abundant harvest here. Juicy, golden, delicious apples just ripe for the picking. And if you notice, if you can just squint and see, there's a ladder that is kind of inviting you to just kind of step up and pick the apples, right? It's kind of inviting. Pick as many apples as you want. And it's the apples that we want, right? But see, if you look a little further, you can see the tree trunk. And then, if you can see, and if you can't see after the surface, come up and you can take a look at this. You can look underneath and see all these roots that are spreading far and wide under the surface, and you see the soil itself, right? So, a healthy tree, you need the healthy tree in order to have apples. There are no apples without the tree. So farmers know that, and they take care of the tree, right? They make sure that the soil has rich nutrients and there's water, and that the roots are able to absorb that in order to create the healthy tree, which produces harvest year after year, right? This harvest is going to be gone soon. So if they want another harvest next year, they're going to have to take care of the tree. So a healthy tree, fed by the nutrients in the soil, on the surface is the source of the apples. Mother Earth herself is this kind of, on the surface, the source of the apples. But there's something even deeper going on there. Because behind and within the whole thing is this intelligent life force, this whole dynamic system that is creating the nutrients in the soil, that is feeding the roots, that is feeding the trees, that bears fruit year after year. So it is the intelligent life force. And that whole dynamic system, right? Even more than that, in the apple tree seed, there is an intelligence that knows how to sprout, that knows how to grow, that knows how to unfold into its full potential, to be what it's created to be, a magnificent apple tree. So it's that intelligence within the very seed itself, coupled with the whole dynamic in the system of the soil and all of that working together. So the intelligent life force, divine dynamic is the source. But when we keep looking to the apples, we're fooled because that's the end product, right? That's the end product. There's something much deeper. It's a symbol. There's something much deeper that's going on behind the scenes. So we might say the love of apples is the source of all, is the root of all evil. You know what I'm saying, right? So if we're looking to our employer or our investments or our spouse or our Social Security check or our pension or whatever as a source of our prosperity, we're looking to the end product. If we look to someone else as the source of our love, we're looking to the end product. If we look to a certain situation to be a certain way in order for us to be happy, we're looking to the end product. If we look to a doctor's advice or a pill or following a certain diet as the source of our health, we're looking to the end product. And the end product is, in and of itself, limited. It's limited. So the true source of all of our good is this intelligent life, essence, divine dynamic that is within us, in this moment, within us, within everyone. It is this beautiful life essence that's the source, this God dynamic that is always at work in our lives and always working together for our good. But when we look to outside circumstances, when we look to something else as the source, we're looking to the end product. And we limit ourselves. We're limiting everything. We experience lack. Are you following me? You see what? Yeah. Okay. So, it's that life essence that's the source. So now, if we want to increase our experience of abundance of any good in our lives, we want to experience an increase of love or joy or peace or harmony or health, well-being or abundance, wealth. If we want to increase that, we must go to the originating source. That intelligent life force that, last week we were talking about this mysterious, invisible life essence that is a universal truth, this universal dynamic that is within us. We go to that. We nourish that. We focus on that. And then the awareness, the shift in consciousness now, that manifests. That bears rich fruit in every area of our lives. And so last week, if you'll recall, you were asked to a community meeting, an emergency community meeting after the service, where the board was sharing that we had this financial shortfall. And we had for a while that was threatening our ability to pay our loans back and really even to stay open. And what did you do? You listened, and then you shared your love, and you shared your gratitude, and you shared your commitment like I have never seen before. I have never witnessed a community come together like this and say, yes, yes, I'll volunteer where you need it. Yes, I will double my tithe. Yes, I'll sign up. People were signing up to be conscious sustainers for the first time. People are, we're standing up with new ideas and a willingness to lead those ideas. You shared your love, your gratitude for this community. You shared your heartfelt commitment. And let me tell you, it's that energy that is the source that is even now in this moment creating the abundance, the physical manifestation of abundance, and will continue to create this solid foundation so that we can really thrive. So that we can really thrive. It's the love. It's that energy of love. That's the source. That willingness to say yes. So Derek says in his book on page 4, he says, when you realize that the source of abundance is spiritual, energetic, the substance of consciousness or spirit, You say that again, the substance of consciousness or spirit, and become unattached to the outward symbols, then you begin to generate prosperity that takes nothing from anyone and benefits everyone. You live in harmony and alignment while ending the war for wealth once and for all. Let's breathe that in. So here's the thing. Here's the consciousness we want to grow into. Even when we don't have the material, the manifest form of abundance, even when, say, we can't pay our bills, or we lost our job, or our pay has been decreased, or the inflation soars out of control, we're still abundant because nothing can change that infinite, intelligent life essence that is that abundant substance within us. Nothing can change that. The only way we can lose is if we keep looking to the material form and thinking that's our source. Right? The only way we can experience loss or lack is when we forget this infinite, limitless, spiritual substance within us as the source, and we get hypnotized. We get hypnotized by the world in believing that something else out there is our source. Right? But when we get it, when we remember at the core of our being, and we have that experience of that loving, infinite presence, ever-present, eternal essence, we can rest in an awareness of having. And we're not panicking, running around panicking. Now, we may not have the physical manifestation. We may, the bank account could still be at zero. The balance sheet can still be red. We can still have that experience. And, Reverend Michael Beckwith used to say that the temporary form, the fact of what's happening today is like reading yesterday's newspaper. Because what's happening as fact, as our experience now, is the result of yesterday's consciousness. So if we want a different experience tomorrow, we shift our consciousness today. So when we get that, when we have the consciousness of abundance, and we act from that consciousness of abundance, we manifest the energy of it. And this is what I was saying about what was happening on Sunday. You all demonstrated growing into this consciousness of abundance and acting from that consciousness of abundance. That is the energy. Trust that, know that. That's the only source. It's not out there. We have it now. We have it, so we want to meditate on this idea of having it now. That's the biblical passage in Matthew that has confused so many people. The parable of the talents, where he says, for to everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have abundance. But from him who has not, even more will be taken away. Now, when you first listen to that, you go, oh, that's awful. That's so unfair. Oh my God, it's cruel. This master in his sermon, he's cruel. Why would that even be in the Bible? But here's the thing, he's talking about principle. This is principle. That's what we can work with. Thank you for the principle. We don't have the story, the whole, worshiping one person. The whole gift is the principle. The whole gift of any master is the ideas, the principle that we can put to work in our life, that we can apply in our life. So we work with principle, right? So we want to meditate on this idea of having, aligning ourselves with and knowing that we have already. Now, we may need to fan the flame of this idea of having, this energy, fanning the consciousness so that we can expand that feeling, we can expand that consciousness of having. And that's exactly one of the exercises that we're going to do in the book study group today and tomorrow. That exercise. So you'll put it to work right away. You got that expansion into this energy of having, I have right now. And here's the thing, we all have the same amount. We all have the same amount. We all have the same amount of love, right? We all have the same amount of peace. We all have the same amount of divine harmony within us. Not all of us are connected in the same way, but we all have the same amount. We all have the same amount of this infinite, limitless, abundant substance within us. This reality, this came to me a couple years ago when I was walking in my community. I live in the Governor's Club, and as my daughter says, we have the most humble house in the Governor's Club. There are some big estates at the top of the hill. And one day I was walking and I was thinking, I have the exact same amount of abundant substance of infinite divine life within me as the person who has the big giant estate on the hill. I have the same amount. He may be, or she, or they may be more aligned with it and working with the principles, but I can learn that too. I'm learning it. I'm learning the principles. That person or those people have the same amount of love, of inner peace that I do. They may not know how to connect with it, but it's the same amount. So we have the same amount. Breathe that in for a minute. Breathe in this experience, this awareness of having infinite, limitless abundance right now. We have it. We have it. And when we realize this, when we really get it, what freedom. What freedom. Because it doesn't matter what's going on in the outer world. It doesn't matter the circumstances. That doesn't control us. It's this awareness, the consciousness of infinite abundance. So let's say an affirmation together from this place of having. Divine, I'll say it first and I'll ask you to repeat after me. Divine eternal life energy is my source. Together, divine eternal life energy is my source. I have an abundance of good now. I have an abundance of good now. Yes, you do. And yes, you are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And so it is. Namaste.